Lift every voice and sing till the heaven ring with the harmonies of our liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song of the hope that the present has.
I pledge allegiance to my Black people. I pledge to develop my mind and my body to the greatest extent possible. I will learn all that I can in order to give my best to my people in their struggle for liberation. I will keep myself physically fit, building a strong body free from drugs and other substances that will weaken me and make me less capable of protecting myself, my family, and my Black brothers and sisters. I will unselfishly share my knowledge and understanding with them in order to bring about change more quickly. I will discipline myself to direct my energies thoughtfully and constructively, rather than wasting them in idle hatred. I will train myself never to hurt or allow others to harm my Black brothers and sisters, for I recognize that we need every Black man, woman, and child to be physically, mentally, and psychologically strong. These principles I pledge to practice daily and to teach them to others in order to unite my people. At this time, I'd like to welcome everybody to our Black Heritage Month program. I'd like to welcome Anthony's staff, students and family, and community members to our virtual celebration. With no further ado, I would like to recognize and introduce our very own Dr. Terry Ricks.
Thank you so much, Vice Principal Miller and Principal Vu, for the opportunity to participate in the Black History Celebration here at Anthony. Good morning, staff, scholars, and stakeholders. A library on Chicago's South Side is named in his honor. The Library of Congress holds his collection. Who is this gentleman of letters? Scholar extraordinaire Carter Godwin Woodson, whose life began in 1875 in West Virginia, and his work ethic began in its coal mines. As a child of formerly enslaved parents, Woodson understood the importance of education as a key to maintaining freedom and achieving excellence for himself and his race. His quest for knowledge would involve prolific reading, world travel, and earning college degrees, among which was a PhD degree from Harvard University. Taking a vow of poverty, Dr. Woodson committed his salary and grants to institution building, to historical study and documentation of Black people, endeavoring to leave little time or monies for his own survival. He authored books, including his most renowned, The Miseducation of the Negro, published the Journal of Negro History, and with other scholars founded the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, ASALH. The enormity of Dr. Woodson's calling extended to him serving as a history dean at Howard University and West Virginia State College. It was short-term because he soon resigned to resume his other tasks. During his era, there were many other notable scholars, such as Ida B. Wells Barnett, Arturo Schomburg, W.E.B. Du Bois, Drusilla Dungy Houston, Edward Blyden, George Washington Williams. But Dr. Woodson's legacy secured his prominence in February 1926. Dr. Carter G. Woodson launched the celebration of Negro History Week, the predecessor of Black History Month, thus earning him the title Father of Black History. Thank you.
Okay. So next we're going to learn about Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was a South African civil rights activist and an icon who helped fight apartheid in the mid-1900s, which he did by protesting the laws the South African government had. Traditional kings like Nelson Mandela's uncle had no place in the government. Apartheid means that discrimination and segregation, which would always happen when Black citizens were treated differently and not as equals but an adversary. Those laws were trying to ensure Black South Africans would not receive the same treatment as white individuals who taught South and African citizens that they were worthless and would never amount close to a white person. Soon after, a protest for equal rights, which included Nelson Mandela, had been stopped by the police. Nelson Mandela and many others, including Oliver Tambo, were arrested. After 27 years of protesting by the people and a fear of a domestic civil war with international pressure, President F.W. de Klerk had freed Nelson in 1990. Though he was jailed for 27 years, he did not think in a bad mindset as he still wanted peace. Soon after, he was elected in 1994 as the first Black South African president. He won a Nobel Prize and showed Black excellence by putting an end to apartheid and was regarded as a national hero.
James Meredith. James Meredith was born on June 25th, 1993 in Mississippi. James first gained recognition in 1962 when he became the first African-American student to attend University of Mississippi. In 1963, Meredith graduated with a degree in political science. He wrote about his experience, which was published in 1996, titled 3 Years in Mississippi. That June, James was shot by a sniper and wounded. He eventually healed from his wounds. I chose this particular part of James Meredith's life because he broke many barriers, giving the African American community a voice that they never had, relating to many Blacks at the time. Thank you.
Good morning, Anthony student and staff. We are celebrating Black History Month, and I'd like to say a few words to you about Black excellence. Black excellence is being resilient. Black excellence is being fashionable. Black excellence is R&B. Black excellence is hip hop. Black excellence is you. Say it loud, be Black and proud.
Mr. Miller.
Good morning, students, faculty, and parents. I am so honored and thankful to be able to speak to you this morning. I'd like to thank my uncle, whom you all know as Principal Miller, for giving me this opportunity in the first place. My name is Alexia Sanders, and I am currently attending Columbia College of Chicago. Today, I am going to talk to you all about Black excellence. This type of excellence can come in many forms. It isn't just a Black entrepreneur or self-made woman who went through several obstacles to own her own successful business. It is the mother providing for her children and making sure that they are set in life. It is the little boy who helps his parents after school with chores. The girl who just graduated high school. The Black woman who is prioritizing herself above all others. The Black man who is loving and cherishes those around him. It's the family who is struggling, the family that is financially stable. The existence of Black people. Our existence is what makes us excellent. You see, there is no one way to be excellent, just like there is not one way to be Black. There is so much individuality amongst our community that we cannot put ourselves into one category. We have broken boundaries and fought for a seat at the table for centuries. We are the most steadfast, and most able beings on this planet. We are loving and determined, independent and intelligent. Even when the world seems to be out to get us, we overcome. We must protect each other, have each other's backs, and spread love and joy because we deserve that type of affection. Black little girls deserve that attention, to be loved unconditionally, and to be given a voice in this world. We must give them positive affirmation just to show them how much they are needed on this planet. Black little boys must be given a voice, to be heard and to be loved. We must do all of these things with our Black children because that is what they deserve. It is what all of you deserve. Each and every single one of you is special. This month, we focus on our history, which can be saddening at times because we are often brought back to the times of slavery or segregation, even learning about the racist history not taught to us in our schools. We must also remember our success and the positive things we have done in our society. The inventors, the doctors, our culture that flourishes everywhere around us, our music, our dances. We are the blueprint for every trend in this country. We created everything, and most times we aren't credited for that. That is the challenge of living as a Black person in this country. We are discredited for many things, on top of being treated as less than. But we must remember our strength, how we will always be the most creative and intelligent race on this planet because of our Black excellence. You all must remember that you are excellent. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and thank you to Anthony Middle School for having me. I wish you all a blessed rest of your day.
Hi, my name is Josephine Francois, and I'm going to be sharing a short presentation about the history of hip hop. Hip hop is a kind of music. Hip hop can consist of rapping and beats mixed together to create a flowy, beautiful kind of music. Hip hop was first introduced in the Bronx, New York in 1970 when 18-year-old Cavell Champbell introduced the music while DJing. He brought the music from his Jamaican heritage, as it was and still is popular in Jamaica. Hip hop quickly became popular after many people heard the DJ's new kind of music. This type of music quickly spread through New York and is now pushed into other states too. So what does hip hop have to do with Black excellence? Hip hop and rap plays a very big role in Black culture because it is where we started. Hip hop lets Black voices be heard through music. Many rappers, including Tupac and Chance the Rapper, talk about the systematic injustice that the Black community has faced for centuries, and talking about it through radio hits make sure our voices are heard. Thank you.
All right, next we have Eric Nelson, good friend of mine from college. We played football together, and Eric is a well-renowned hip hop artist in the Midwest. So we're very blessed and thankful to have Mr. Nelson in the space today, and I'll let him continue with the intro with himself.
Yeah, I just want to say hello to everybody. Thank you for having me. Anthony Middle School. Shout out to Mr. Miller. You know, I call him my bro. But just want to say, everybody, hopefully you guys are having a great day. I'm grateful to be part of this celebration. I'm gonna get it continuing. My name is Eric Nelson. I go by the performing name of Brother Enoch. Just been performing for a while, a little bit over 20 years. You know, started out just rapping, but now I'm kind of a gospel rapper now. And my message today for Black History Month is, you know, we depend on God. All people depend on God. We were God's people before we were Black people. So just with the current situation and the things we've been going through, basically our whole lives, one thing that's been constant is God. And my message today for you all is, you know, when it gets tough, we need to give it up to God. So that'll be my performance. So without further ado, Brother Enoch, give it up to God. feel the vibe on this hump day. Yes. When you're down to nothing and hope is all you got, and it seems like seconds and minutes is ticking off the clock, like a boulder, pressure on shoulders, you's about to drop. Situation feeling grim, ain't it? Pickings looking slim, ain't it? Times uncertain and families hurting, that's real. Viruses, they spread, now what's the deal? A cold pill, reality harder to swallow. Trying to make it through the day, let alone tomorrow. Sorrow fills the land, and we didn't have a plan. Pop said it'd be days like this, now I understand. Thought I had the upper hand, but I had the under. When it rains, strike lightning, don't get shook by thunder. Knee deep, grab the plunger, now take it out. If it don't resolve, then revolve what your faith about. You ain't got there, now what that mean? Can't scan, you gotta seek in order to receive, man, you gotta believe. Now release from all that fear, cause he is near. Draw near and tell it to his ear, When you're down to nothing and hope is all you got, and it seems like seconds and minutes is ticking off the clock, like a boulder, pressure on shoulders, you's about to drop. Gotta believe it and release it and give it up to God. When you're down to nothing and hope is all you got, and it seems like seconds and minutes is ticking off the clock, like a boulder, pressure on shoulders, you's about to drop. Gotta believe it and release it and give it up to God. Things ain't looking great on this side, they kinda bleak. I had a lot of hope, but I dropped it though last week. You say release, but I need a release of all this grief. I gave him praise and still gotta move out by the end of the week. A lost sheep, winning the 99, not thought he fine. Guess God was busy, or I wasn't worth his time. Speaking of time, seconds and minutes is ticking faster. Praise the master. Why? I don't even like the pastor. But let me ask you, are you perfect in everything you do? He gave you freedom of choice, so I guess you can choose what you do. Now hold up, no need to answer. Seen your dirty lines and hamper, knew you before you was in Pampers. Not trying to dampen your spirit, so ignore the facts. But feelings can be misleading, don't focus on where you at. This too shall pass. Keep enduring and don't give up. This one breaking, never forsake, you got what deliver. When you're down to nothing and hope is all you got, and it seems like seconds and minutes is ticking off the clock, like a boulder, pressure on shoulders, you's about to drop. Gotta believe it and release it and give it up to God. When you're down to nothing and hope is all you got, and it seems like seconds and minutes is ticking off the clock, like a boulder, pressure on shoulders, you's about to drop. Gotta believe it and release it and give it up to God. Tragedies gonna come, fatalities gonna come, adversity and pain, also depletion of funds, loss of loved ones. What had you walking on the ledge? A lot of tears shed. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge, but with that said, I encourage you to dig deep, instead of mirage, wipe your wide 10 toes and 2 feet. Release from all that fear to get you if you let it. Make some choices and regret it, but it's okay because he can edit. And when that stress get heavy and you can't carry it no more, call out to Abba. Please help me carry this load and let it go. Tell me what worry gonna do. Gotta get active, keep mashing in positive pursuit. You'll make it through. Just let him do what he do. Ears going, ears open, pay attention to cues to rescue. You in your time of need want to succeed, and give them the keys and just believe. When you're down to nothing and hope is all you got, and it seems like seconds and minutes is ticking off the clock, like a boulder, pressure on shoulders, you's about to drop. Gotta believe it and release it and give it up to God. When you're down to nothing and hope is all you got, and it seems like seconds and minutes is ticking off the clock, like a boulder, pressure on shoulders, you's about to drop. Gotta believe it and release it and give it up to God. Who? Give it up to God. God. Hey, give it up to God. We down to nothing. Hey, give it up to God. Hey, give it up to God. Hey, COVID-19, give it up to God. Racism, give it up to God. All your struggles, give it up to God. Give it up to God. Hey, give it up to God. Hope y'all enjoyed that, man. Y'all have a great, blessed day, okay?
Sure. So I'm Gabriel Fleck, and I'm serving as a Check and Connect person, and Anthony. And I just wanted to talk about Black excellence in the context of academia and specifically linguistic underrepresentation. So I recently graduated this December from the U of M with majors in linguistics and computer science, and I'll be a doctoral candidate in 2022 at Georgetown. So this is an area that is quite important to me. And my area of research was on Ethio-Semitic languages, Tigrinya. And the reason I chose this is twofold. One, because I was born there, so that's a pretty self-explanatory reason. And the other is because it's an understudied language, even though it has about 7 million speakers in Ethiopia Eritrea, and then in diaspora, Minneapolis. I think there's quite a few in Germany, DC. And while there are a lot of innovative, really hardworking, really well qualified people that I've worked with, that I will work with, working on Tigrinya, most of these people aren't ethnically Ethiopian. And I just think that's an issue, especially when you start involving linguistic research, especially with ethnic Ethiopians, and especially when the research becomes public facing. Like a lot of my research is done within corpus linguistics. A lot of it's in parts of speech tagging, speech recognition, machine learning, and a lot of this research dwells quite significantly on working explicitly with people. We research how they utter things, why they do these things, how they identify parts of speech, why they identify parts of speech. And when there are solely, white Europeans working within a language that is spoken by a people group that may not be living in that area, I think it's pretty problematic, especially when linguistic identity can be quite closely rooted to diaspora. And that's the way I identify when there's people working within a language that you identify with, and they're not people that look like you, people that speak like you, people that eat the same way, talk the same way, listen to the same sorts of music. That may be a bit jarring. And I just think, especially as we become increasingly globalized and languages become increasingly more mixed, that having ethnic Ethiopians working within the language that they speak, especially in academia, where it's becoming increasingly white, homogenized, and in more technical areas, that's a huge issue. Like when I work in computer science, I don't think I had a single African-American in most of my classes. And I just want to shed light on that. It is important to have people who work on understudy languages speak those understudy languages and identify with those people, rather than just solely white ethnic Europeans working on a language that they don't identify with, but something they merely treat as a area of interest, just some subject that they think might be important to look at for the research. Yeah, thank you for listening to that.
Good morning. This is Miss Lene, the band director at Anthony Middle School, and I'm honored to introduce my good friend Wayne McFarlane to you all today. Wayne McFarlane's most recent release, The World Is Now, leads with the lyrics, "The world is now, what are we waiting for?" Empowering us to unite and take action to create a better world. Music has come through Wayne since his earliest years. His brother Al tells the story of Wayne's young voice rising up above all the other hymn-singing voices at the Pentecostal church in Evansville, Kansas. As the worship praise quieted, Wayne's young voice was still singing out the chorus, "Shake, rattle, and roll." McFarlane's mother lived on a plantation on Quiver River in Mississippi, and his father brought his love of reggae with him from his homeland, Jamaica. The McFarlane family moved to Worthington, Minnesota, when Wayne was a young boy. He remembers the gospel and reggae music filling their home. Wayne and his brothers and sisters began a funk reggae jazz band, Ipso Facto, in the 1980s, and soon they were off touring the world with UB40, Tracy Chapman, and The Clash, and winning international band competitions. After 6 records with Ipso Facto, Wayne released his first solo album. That was then This Is Now, exploring Southern River music, the music his mom loves. Since that time, Wayne has traveled performing and recording worldwide. When he is in Minneapolis, you can find him performing almost every night of the week. McFarlane is a legend in the Minneapolis scene, bringing musicians of all ages onto stage to perform with him and sing powerful stories. During COVID, Wayne is taking music to the doorsteps of hospitals, playing for patients and workers, and outside to neighborhoods, giving hope and reminding us all we are all connected in this world.
What are we waiting for? Here we go. Time waits for no one. You must stand for what's right. All the children of the world, you should not shed no blood tonight. Can't you see what the government do? How they make the case? You may say peace to me, I may say assalamu alaikum too. The world is now. What are we waiting for? Let's get it together. The world is now. What are we waiting for? Hey, you are a witness. Come down and say the truth. You are a witness. For tonight, you might be the judge and the jury too. The world is now. What are we waiting for? The world is now. What are we waiting for? Everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. But all you children of the world, one finger pointed out. That's what they do, trying to blame everybody else. Oh, come back, and more come back around. That's we the people, in order to form a more perfect union. Maybe this crime even belongs to you. Just us, just them, just you. Say it again. The world is now. What are we all waiting for? Rosa Parks says, the world is now. What are we waiting for? Martin Luther King said it. We could change. All you children, you can change it. We could change the world. Y'all gonna be the president one day. You may be a lawyer. You might be the doctor. You're gonna be the one that takes care of my children's children. And your children's children. And Dempsey's children. All over the world, we can join together tonight. If this radio reaches you, you can tell the truth, that's right. Hey, good morning, everybody. And my name is Wayne Anthony, and I'm gonna tell another story real quick. So, I go say no more. O cara se va. Tell it to. Say your name. Who's a black man? Grew up in northern Minnesota. Mr. Bone. Who's the man who made the world sing? Here's what he says. Who was in prison for 27 years? Say his name, Nelson Mandela. Why does the caged bird sing? Say her name, Maya Angelou. Are you taking up space in the human race? Somebody out there surely wants your space. Are you taking up space? That's what they said. Check it out. Who walked across the bridge, Birmingham, Alabama? Say his name, Martin Luther King. Who wants to ride the bus that fateful day. Rosa Parks, who made the railways, traveled along the byway. Harriet Tubman, taking up you all. Don't you worry, no, are you taking up space in the human race? Somebody out there wants your space. Are you taking up space in the human race? Somebody out there wants your space. Your turn. Somebody out there wants your space. Somebody out there wants your space. You are the power. You are the glory. You are the story. Tell it. Say your name. You are the power. You are the glory. Say your space. Say your love. Who are the ones who traveled the hidden figures? Sent a man to the moon. Say their names. Say their names. Who traveled around the world to find the North Pole? They tell the whole story. Say his name. Who is the man came from Hawaii? The leader of this great country. Say his name. Say his name. Now she's the vice president. Come on, tell the whole truth. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Come on. Taking up space in the human race. Somebody out there wants your space. Don't take up no space here in the human race. Somebody out there wants your space. You're gonna be the president one day. You're gonna be the doctor, say one day. You're gonna be a lawyer and defend this country's real truth. Equal rights and justice, just you and just us. Well, say your name, say your name. Say your name, say your name. Say your name. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow, wow, wow. I feel so liberated right now. At this time, I'd just like to thank staff, students, families, and community for supporting us today. And I love every last one of you. Dr. Ricks, thank you, and I love you. Imran, thank you, my little brother, for your presentation. Mr. Miller loves you. Abdi, I'd like to thank you for your presentation. Mr. Miller loves you. Josie, thank you. You're a work of art. Mr. Miller loves you. Alexia Sanders, my niece, who's my blood is flowing through your veins. We appreciate you and love you. Eric Nelson, brother I've known for over 20 years. We thank you, brother, for blessing us with your spirit and your talent. And I love you. Wayne McFarland, brother, hey man, I appreciate you. And we're gonna continue with our work together, and thank you for what you do for our community and demonstrating what relationships do for one another. This couldn't been done without the relationships we have with one another. So I love you, my brother. And I just want to introduce somebody else that I care about and love tremendously, my fierce leader, the principal of this wonderful school, Ms. Mai Chang Vu.
All right, so wherever you are in this space this morning, just want you to, if you can just wave your hands or clap or give our wonderful guests a round of applause. I know we're not an auditorium setting, but just, thank you very much. So good morning, Anthony, students, staff, families, and friends, Principal Vu here. I know it's cold outside, but just listening to the folks this morning, sharing their story and their beautiful art with us this morning just warms my heart. I hope everyone is safe and well. Thank you for participating in today's program and for the opportunity to offer some closing remarks. Before I do so, I want to first thank Assistant Principal Miller for his work in putting together a lovely program for all of us today in honor of Black History Month. And again, just wanted to thank the staff, Mr. Gomez, Dr. Riggs, Ms. Lene, Mr. Fleck, and our students, Josie, Imran, and Abdi as well, to our special guests, Ms. Alexia Sanders, and then to follow with Eric Nelson and Wayne McFarland to share their musical talents with us. It's just amazing. To the audience members joining us today, COVID may have prevented us from being together in an auditorium setting, but it can never deny us from coming together to pay tribute to the incredible people who have made a profound impact on our nation. So today we gather to honor the remarkable role that the African-American community has played in shaping the American history, who have challenged our nation and who will continue to challenge our nation to change for the better. As the parent mentioned last night at our PT meeting, Ms. Bowler, last night she said, Black history is more than just, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Harriet Tubman. We must not shy away from teaching the truth and teaching about the injustices and teaching about the contributions of our Black brothers and sisters. And although we should all be proud of the many achievements, we cannot be content. So to you, we cannot be content as long as discrimination still exists in our housing market, in our schools, in our classrooms, in our streets, in places that we shop, in places that we eat, and where we breathe, where we live. And it's important to recognize that history is not just something nice to reflect on, it informs us. History informs us about what each of us must do. So the next chapter of our history won't be written by the media. It'll be written by all of us, and we must write that next chapter. Our work is far from complete, and when we can't look at each other in the eye with sincere love and empathy, we can't move forward. Like Mr. Miller said, a relationship is important. We must show our sincere intentionality. We can't be hiding behind a computer screen or within our four walls. So from your home to my home, to the classroom, to the boardroom, to our community center, to the front steps of our, state and national capital, we must celebrate and teach Black history and Black excellence every single day. And I'm proud to be amongst our wonderful guests today and presenters. Black excellence, for many of you, some of you, you may have just heard the term, or Black excellence to all of us means something different. And so we must continue to commemorate and celebrate the joy and the love and everything. And so thank you so much for this morning. And I hope everybody enjoyed our program and that you have a wonderful day. So thank you very much.
Do, do.